tell them check out the blog, bro. YouTube channel called MKO. It's pugilism, boxing algorithm. M stand for Marvin and Kevin's initials.
What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel, where we talk all things boxing. Right about now, remember to like, remember to subscribe to this channel. More content on its way to you shortly. And right now, I'm just going to speak on the fight that took place last night between Tszyu, son of the legendary Tszyu, and of course Jeff Horn, a guy who's definitely become a veteran fighter over there in Australia. Fought and beat Manny Pacquiao, controversial decision, and he's also fought and lost to Terence Crawford. So it's a name that I think most boxing fans should be familiar with. And Tszyu, I haven't really seen that much of his footage, but I did get to see what took place in this fight last night. Strange night for it, Wednesday night boxing, but hey ho, you know, see, that's what it is. Australia's that far in front of us. So yeah, first of all, very interesting. Interesting to see fans in attendance there in Australia. I think they're dealing a bit better with the pandemic over there. So yeah, it was interesting. You see fans in the stands, and I almost did a double take thinking that, hold on, is this showing highlights from earlier in their careers? But then I saw it, and yeah, they fans and spectators in place, large stadium environment, and that was good to see. Good to see boxing in kind of an environment that it deserves to be. So as the fight opened, first couple of rounds were Jeff Horn trying to sort of swarm and coming in with marauding attacks against Tszyu, but Tszyu sort of held up very well in the first few rounds. He got some nice little counter shots off, counter right hands, and he countered Jeff Horn quite well in the first couple of rounds. But Jeff Horn was making the fight very difficult. He was, you know, using his normal tactics, sort of roughhousing, you know, throwing punches and then sort of falling in and making it hard for Tszyu to have any sort of space to work. He wasn't allowing Tszyu the sort of space that he needed to work. So the first couple of rounds were, you know, they weren't that close. You could see who was the better boxer. That was Tszyu. But yeah, they were, you know, Horn done his best to make them hard. But as the fight began to progress, rounds 3, 4, 5, you know, Tszyu began to sort of take over in the fight. He began to make the fight his own, you know. He definitely sort of took over, was landing nice straight counter punches, you know, lefts and rights and everything, and even a few uppercuts he was able to sling in there. And basically Tszyu, after sort of round 2, 3, Tszyu began to just stick it on Jeff Horn and began to just give him a drubbing, give him a beating. You know, he landed a beautiful, one of the most significant shots. I think it was a left hook to the body in towards the end of round 8. And again, great shot. And it was, you know, the pattern of the fight was basically this, that first couple of rounds you had Horn. He was in the fight, he was making it rough, making it hard for Tszyu in a way. But Tszyu, one quality that he does have that I respect is that Tszyu stayed very calm under pressure. So even though you had Horn coming in and wailing away and holding and doing all sorts, Tszyu, although he's quite young, 25-year-old, you know, but he showed composure. He showed the composure of an older fighter. You know, he was able to stay composed, you know, let Horn come in with his marauding stuff, make him miss a little bit, make him pay. And he always, through that fight, you got to see Tszyu really stayed calm, and he was very, very patient in the fight. You know, he was held when he needed to hold, you know, and he countered lovely when he got the opportunity, and eventually just began to wear Jeff Horn out. Jeff Horn was trying to come forward and trying his best to sort of make his strength sort of tell on the fight, but you know, Tszyu just completely showed his class. He showed that he was definitely a class and sort of a league above Jeff Horn, who for the most part sort of looked crude and he looked a bit unkempt in the way he was boxing. It was sort of rushing in, and it wasn't very tidy work. But Tszyu, he held his shape all the way through the fight. He was composed, he was calm, and most importantly, he was landing hard punches and good counters all the way through the fight. And eventually, Jeff Horn, he just began to sort of wilt during those middle rounds, 4, 5, 6, 7, he just began to wilt, got down a few times, knocked down a few times, and eventually the corner, once it came to that end of that round 8, I think he'd been knocked down again with a body shot. And once it came to the end of round 8, they've gone back to the corners, and obviously Horn's very, very hurt at this point. And it was all that would happen if they let him come out for the 9th round is he would have got battered even more. So the corner done the right thing. They said, no, we're going to stop the fight. We're not sending him out for round 9, which is good to see corners doing that, save your fight for another day. And also Horn, he's had so many hard fights. He's had his run, he's won, he's beaten Manny Pacquiao statistically. So, he's achieved some things already, and there's no need for a man to continue taking a beating like that. If he's not gonna win the fight, you can pull the guy out. And they done the right thing, the Jeff Horn's corner. They pulled him out. He didn't come out for round 9, and of course that was sort of an arrival of sorts for Tszyu, because Tszyu, he's got the famous name of his father, and I think that fight there, by beating a guy like Jeff Horn, definitely will stand him in good stead going forward. I'd like to see him against some better competition. This was a good step up, and I think he's proved himself against these sort of guys like a Jeff Horn. And I'd like to see him have a few more fights like this. And he's a guy that I'll have to watch sort of the rest of his footage against lower competition. Watch this a bit more, a few times over. But he's a guy that Tszyu definitely does have some potential. I'd say it's not the finished article as yet, because he hasn't had the experiences yet of, going right to the very elite level. But I don't see any reason why he can't be sort of maneuvered into world title contention, world title sort of level. I mean, he proved he can hang in there and even outclass a guy that, has been to the very top. So, yeah, this victory definitely says a lot for Tszyu. And I think if he's maneuvered the right way, if he's matched, carefully and, matched intelligently as he goes along, I think this Tszyu could go on to do good things. Who knows? He may go on to even win a world title. I don't know, but from what I've seen, definitely at the very least the potential is there. So that's just my thoughts on that. Congratulations to Tszyu winning the fight. TKO, very impressive victory for Tszyu. And yeah, everybody check him out. Check out Tszyu. And until next time, it's MKO Pugilism. We're over and out. See you next time.